For number 13, it says find the GCF and factor it out. So for 30 and 20, I know that 10 can divide into both of those. I could also take an x squared out. If I divide, 30 divided by 10 is 3. 3 minus 2 is x to the first. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And 2 minus 2 is 0. That's it. In number 14, I would go ahead and set up 2 sets of parentheses. The square root of x squared is just x. The square root of 36 is 6. And then you do a plus and a minus. In 15 and 16, these are just normal x factor because there's 1 right here. So 1 times 20 is 20. And we're trying to get to 9. So we could use 1 and 20, 2 and 10, or 4 and 5. Which one gets to 9? Well, 4 and 5 does. So we would do x plus 4 and x plus 5. In number 16, 1 times 30 is 30, and we're trying to get to negative 13. So we have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. So I know that both of these can actually get to 13. But I have to decide which one is the best fit. So if I did 15 minus 2, it would give me a positive 13. Okay. 2 minus 15 gives me a negative 13, but a positive times a negative gives me a negative, and that 30 is positive. So we're going to go with 3 and 10 and make them both negative, because a negative times a negative is a positive 30. If I add 2 negatives, I keep the negative. So my solution here is x minus 3 and x minus 10. Okay, in number 17, this is bottoms up. So 5 times 2 is 10, and I'm trying to get to 7. So factors of 10, which pair can make 7? Well, 2 and 5 can. So we say x plus 2 and x plus 5. But we have to divide by that first number when we do bottoms up. So, can this divide evenly? No, and it cannot reduce, so I bring the bottom up. And so I say 5x plus 2. Here, I can divide and make 1. In number 18, again, this is bottoms up. So I'm going 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. I'm trying to get to negative 7. So the factors of 18 are listed. Which one of these can get to a negative 7? Well, 2 and 9 can. If we make 9 negative. See, these have to match on this side, the signs. So 2 minus 9 is negative 7. And we again have to divide by that first number. So we divide by 2. Well, 2 and 2, they do divide to be 1. And negative 9 divided by 2 can't reduce, can't divide, so I bring the bottom up. Okay, number 19 says you need to factor. You notice we have 4 terms. So we cut this in half, and we find the GCF of this first half. So the GCF here is 8x squared. And the GCF here is 1. So these two GCFs, they're my first answer. Okay, then I need to divide. And so I'm going to use the last one here to divide. So 1x divided by 1 is 1x. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So I would have 1x plus 4 or x plus 4. If I divide on this side, I get the same answer. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 3 minus 2 is x to the first. 32 divided by 8 is 4, and those 2's cancel out. So you should get the same answer no matter which one you divide. It's just the second one is a little bit easier to do. Okay, number 20 says factor completely. This is actually a little deceiving. We're not going to do completely. So you're going to cut in half. We're going to find the GCF of the first half, which is 2, x squared. On the second half, the GCF is 1. And we're going to bring those two GCFs together to make the first set of parentheses. Then, the second half, you're going to divide this by 1, the second half. So 3x divided by 1 is 3x. Negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. And we have 3x minus 2. Again, if you divide this side, here and here, you're going to get the same answer.